Hello, Malty, mysterious maritime militias, and thank you to Lucas Burdick for the malt mention, introducing Ralphie Review 907. That's what it is. I had to think about it there. So welcome, malt mates, to the bothy. Welcome to a cold, wintry day in the middle of the Irish Sea, which is the finest sort of day that you can have to enjoy a single malt whisky. And this is one which, when it first came out, I was too late to buy a bottle. I just couldn't track one down, but eventually, after persevering, I came across one. I've bought it, and I'm going to review it for you. It's called Kilkerran 12-year-old single malt Scotch whisky from Glengyle Distillery in Campbelltown, and it's bottled at 46%. And if you look closely at the back of the label, not the front, the back of the label, not chill filtered and no added colouring. Wonderful. It's very reassuring that. It means that whatever's in the bottle, because it's an integrity presentation, is going to be a lot more tasty and smell better than otherwise being bottled basic. Not that I'm criticising basic bottlings, because basic bottlings are produced for the undiscerning mass consumer who wants a branded experience, and frankly, they're not that fussed, and frankly, they're not that interested in the complexity of smell and complexity of taste. But the thing is, malt mates, the fact that you are watching this video means that you are, in fact, invested. In other words, you're not just buying exclusively on the discounts and deep discounts in supermarkets and in Amazon. You're going malt hunting, and you're prepared to pay that extra premium, that extra money, wherever you are, when you come across a product which is going to give you a quality of experience. And the primary components of that experience are smell and taste. And when you see the fact that a bottle is an integrity presentation, you're reassured. Very reassured. So, I've poured a wee glass here. A lovely, honest colour. A little bit more about the distillery. It's a small distillery. In other words, there's not that lot produced. Not such a lot produced, I should be saying. That was just bad grammar, my apologies. A little verbal Ralphie blooper there. And being a small distillery, owned by Springbank, who really know what they're doing, who have a tremendous amount of collective experience, and that goes into the production of this whisky. There's a kind of high demand for it. It's spotted, and the reason it's spotted is purely because of the internet. The internet's been the absolute game changer for the reputation of small distilleries and for connecting small distilleries to their international customer base. And nobody, malt mates, nobody is going to quibble with me over that opinion. So what have we got here? We've got a whisky that's different to Springbank, the distillery just down the road, but it's still got a lot in common. So those of you who can't get hold of a Springbank, despite it being recommended and despite it being absolutely fabulous stuff, well, you could have a look at Springbank options being Hazelburn and Longrow, which in their own right are fantastic whiskies. Or alternatively, you can look at the distillery next door, owned by Springbank, which is Glengyle Distillery, which is producing this single malt. Lovely label, by the way. Simple, practical, straightforward and unpretentious, and importantly, on the back of the label, be better on the front, but hey, it's on the back of the label, it's on the bottle where it matters, not chill filtered and no added colouring. What have we got on the nose? Very softly peated, slightly savoury nose. I'm really getting that kind of old school Dunnage Warehouse sort of soft sensations of sweet and sour, hint of bitterness, although bitterness is often one of the hardest sensations to pick up on the nose. Tends to come across as an astringency. There's a soft, intense, rich sultana note, not the standard baking sultanas that you buy in the supermarket. No. We're talking about the bigger sultanas that you buy in continental Europe. The real ones, the fabulous ones, that when you eat them on their own, you're just getting that much more flavour from them. It's that style of sultana. Very close relationship to the raisin. There's a slight note of sherry in the background. It's quite indistinct. It's very much integrated with the signature of the single malt, which has got honey in it, some soft ginger, some rich toffee-ish malt. That, again, on the nose, you pick up on that fabulous, soft, savoury note. And at 12 years old, we're getting something which is quite signature rich. The still signature from Glengyle's Stills. It's very much to the front. It isn't spectacularly distinctive like some other distilleries, but it's very good at what it is. Simples. I just love the old-fashioned nose here. Bit of libraries, bit of bookcases, a little bit of old-fashioned leather wallet. Whenever you jump in an old British car like a Jaguar with leather seats in the sunshine on a sunny day, you can still smell a little bit of slight woodiness coming off the dashboard's veneer. You're getting that, and of course a little bit of gear oil. Those vehicle notes, the complex vehicle notes, that includes that savoury aspect to it. Taste, neat. Dense. Complex, naturally complex. And in a word, single word, rich arrival. A very fat flavour on the tongue. What do I mean by that? I mean there's all sorts of flavours in there, all compressed up. You're aware of it. You know they're going to unravel over the time and make this dram much more interesting, particularly when you add a drop of water, although I have to say you won't need that much. But it's got that wonderful concentrated, compressed, savoury fruit, fresh fruit, bit of fresh apple in there, okay. Little bit of russet, autumnal apple, nutty apple. But it's the dense sultana and raisin on the palate, intermingled with a little bit of soft, dry toffee and some very mild spices and some soft powdered ginger. That makes it very engaging. I'm going to add a drop of water now. Naturally, the actual form of the whiskey, it all tends to be up front in the arrival. This is why we're going to add just a little drop of whiskey. How much? 2 or 3 millilitres. That's all you need. In fact, I've just put 2 millilitres in. And you'll see the transformation in this dram very, very quickly. Also because of the quality of production. Although it will change quickly once you've added a drop of water, it will be steady as well. So it changes rapidly in a short space of time, but it's steady in pace as it unravels on the nose and particularly on the palate. Little gentle roly. This is how we do it in the bothy. You will see, just to warn you, at whisky events, people swirling their glasses until the contents are practically flying out the top. Malt mates, all you're doing is agitating the whisky. It's really not helping. There's no rush. There's no rush to swirl it up because there's no rush to drink it. The slower you go, the further you get and the more happens. It's the way it is. When we drink slowly, We're giving our senses time to adapt to the experience. If we drink whiskey quickly, or even worse, which many Scottish people do, knock it back and go, oh, that was rare, give us another glass. This is what Bell's was bottled for, and White and Mackay, and Famous Grouse. For the swiggers. Don't be a swigger. Promise me your New Year's resolution, malt mates, no swigging. In fact, get a sign for your whisky bothy, your whisky zone. No swigging here. And the wee kind of red cross mark. Particularly good quality whiskies. After all, you're paying the premium. What's the point in rushing it? It's like going to an art gallery to view a painting. You see a really good painting. Do you just give it a quick glance and walk on by? No. So why do it with whiskey? Why smell it, taste it, and gulp it? It's a no-brainer. Leave gulping, malt mates, to the dafties. Because dafties do daft things. Taste, smell, start with smell. A little bit of Scotch mist appearing in this glass now. Oh, lovely, lovely to see it. Rich, complex, dried, and a little bit of fresh fruit. With that savoury finish, some beautiful sooty little smoke coming out the development. It's being released because of the water, giving that savoury and some rich, sparkling tannins in the finish. Beautiful. I'm going to get straight to my malt mark now. When I can find my malt marks, here they are. This is an absolute joy. Here you go, malt mates. Kilkerran. Very well made whisky. It's no wonder you struggle to find a bottle, because it's an absolute gem. Malt mark. Integrity malt mark. 90 out of 100. Join me shortly for Ralphie Review 907 Extras. I shall be introducing distilleries and whiskies and other spirits that you should be looking out for in 2022. Ralphie's advice. Because it's the knowledge and I'm sharing it, malt mates. Thanks for watching.